Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hall of Fame or Not, where me and my friend Clayton
What's up?
decide our picks for who we think should go into the 2021 Pro Football Hall of Fame class. And there's 15 finalists this year, and we're only touching on 6 of the players. So, the way that Hall of Fame or Not works is each of us have two pieces of paper that say yes and no, and he's going to name a player, and each of us are going to lift up which paper we think it is, yes or no, for if they should go in the Hall of Fame or not. All right, let's get right into it.
First up today, we have Jared Allen. He started football in year of 2004 at 22. I personally think yes.
I would agree with you. Yes, he was an absolute monster. Dude ended with 136 sacks in only 9 years. There's some players in the league who will play for 13, 14 years and get even lower than 100 sacks. So he's a definite first ballot. This is his first year eligibility because for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, you have to be out of the league for
5 years.
5 years. Yes, you have to be out of the league for 5 years to be eligible to get into the Hall of Fame. So he is a first ballot guy who will definitely make it in this year.
Also, he has 6 career interceptions for a total of 55 yards, with one of those ending in a touchdown, which could always be the game changer from an interception.
Yes, definitely. All
Who
right.
do you have?
Let's see. Okay, so we have next Charles Woodson. So Charles Woodson started his career in 1998, played all the way up till 2015, 18-year career. Man was a dog, and I'm gonna have to say, yes, sir. This dude belongs in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He is a first ballot guy. He ended his career with 65 interceptions, which is crazy. There are players who will play for 10 to 15 years and will only get like 30 interceptions. And considering that this guy played for damn near 20 years and he got 65 interceptions, that's just ridiculous. He was a monster on the field. He's one of the best defensive players ever. And it's also, should be noted, he is the second player in college football history to win the Heisman. He won it over Peyton Manning because they both came into the league the same year. So 1997, he won the Heisman Trophy. He's only the second defensive player to do that. He's just crazy player.
And on those 65 interceptions, he got a whopping 966 yards off of that, 11 ending in touchdowns. As we know, touchdowns are good.
Yes, they are.
All right. And for the next player, we have Ronde Barber. Ronde Barber started all the way back in 1997 and played up until 2012. What do you think?
I'm gonna have to go with a yes. He was an integral part in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl win. He was a monster. He was part of a defense that had Derek Brooks, Simeon Rice. I mean, they were just a crazy good team, and he's really underrated because he's not talked about a lot. But he didn't end with a ton of interceptions, but he did actually end with a ton of interceptions. Let me correct myself there. He ended with 47 interceptions in his career, and he ended with 8 touchdowns from those interceptions. I mean, and he ended with 28 sacks too. He was one of those guys who he's a cornerback, so for those who really, really know football or just know football at all, know that sometimes you'll have your cornerback come up close to the line of scrimmage, and when the quarterback snaps the ball, the cornerback will run up and nobody will be there to block him and he'll sack the quarterback, and it's just a really good tactic. And he was used in that way by the defensive coordinator for the Buccaneers a lot like that. So I mean, he was a really solid defensive player. So I definitely think he'll make it in.
And out of the combined total to be about 500 of G and GS games, he's only had one fumble out of all of those games.
His defense.
I know, off of his interceptions.
Oh, he fumbled. Okay, he fumbled. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
Just once.
Huh. Yeah, that's not bad.
And
That's not bad at all.
he had how many interceptions?
47 interceptions.
Yes, out of all those interceptions. Just one mess up.
And he played 14, 15 years, so if he would have played as long as Charles Woodson, if he would have played like 18 years, he probably would have ended with close to 60 interceptions. So he was good.
Just under.
Yeah. All right. All right. Up next, we have. Let us see here. We have Calvin Johnson up next. So Calvin Johnson, nicknamed Megatron, was an absolute monster. This dude was crazy. He's 6'5", weighs 237 pounds, and he's ridiculous. He ran like a 4.2. He was nuts. He played for how long did he play for? Let's see.
He played for the Lions
6, 7, 8,
for
9.
a rather short
9 years.
Yeah, for
9
a rather
years.
short
Yeah.
career.
So, and he ended with 11,000 yards. He was a crazy receiver. He was, I mean,
731 receptions.
yeah, and I remember seeing plays where he would be running a go route, which means he would just be running straight down the field, and they would put 3 defensive players on him, and he would just jump up and grab it and come down with it, and it would just be like, how do you do that? He's one guy who has 3 other guys on him, literally on top of him, and he just goes up, he's like, give me that, and he just grabs the ball and brings it down. It's like, that's crazy. How do you do that? But
he averaged almost 16 yards per every reception that he did, which is pretty good off of a reception.
Yeah. But I hate to say it, I'm gonna have to go with no for me. I don't think he's making it in this year. No. I don't think he's making it in.
I don't know if he would make it in, but I'm personally saying that he should, off of those almost 12,000 yards and 731 receptions.
And I'll explain why I don't think he'll make it in, and the reason being is because the way that the Pro Football Hall of Fame works, a lot of times is you see your offensive linemen, defensive guys get in pretty well, except for cornerbacks, but one group that takes them years and years, sometimes 20 to 30 years since they played to get into the Hall of Fame is wide receivers, because there's been so many of them and so many good ones, and he is one who, without a doubt, he will get in just because of the cultural impact he had on the game of football, but also his numbers too are good enough to make it in. But one thing that they're going to look at and say is that he didn't play long enough. He only played 9 years, not even 10 years. So they're going to wait a bit to have him go in. But I think he will definitely get in. But this is his first year of eligibility, and usually wide receivers don't make, unless they're crazy, crazy good, they usually don't make it in their first year of eligibility. And speaking on that, Randy Moss made it in just last year, and that was, I think, his second year of eligibility, and he is considered second to only Jerry Rice. So that just goes to show you that it takes a while for receivers to get in. So
after you saying all that, I will have to change my answer to no, because now that I actually think on it, I know other wide receivers and other players that have done what he has done prior to them, or even better, with longer careers. So that short of a career, I think, is going to harm him in knowing that other players have done better or to the same level that he has. So I am going to have to change my answer to no. I do not think he will make it into the Hall of Fame. All right. Next player we have is Torry Holt, speaking upon the better stats of a wide receiver. Me, personally, I'm going to have to go with yes for him.
I'm going to have to go with yes as well. Torry Holt was a huge part of the St. Louis Rams 1999 Super Bowl win, and he was just a rookie that year. He was really good. He was a really, really good receiver for St. Louis. Him and Isaac Bruce, who actually just made it in last year, who was a crazy good receiver. They both were just a super good duo. Kurt Warner would just throw it up there, and either one of them would go get it. And he was a really good receiver for the Rams.
Yes, I have to agree with that. I mean, stats show got 13,382 career yards with 920 receptions. Those stats are indeed better than the last player we talked about. Do you have anything to add on to that?
No, I mean, he's been out of the league long enough that he's either in his second or third year of eligibility, and he's good enough to where this is right around the time when he should go in to the Hall. So, I think you should make it in.
Me too.
All right, which comes to last but not least, our final guy here, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, Peyton Manning. Also known as the Sheriff. We got his jersey right here, his Colts jersey. And you guys could probably guess what we're going to say here, but we're both going yes.
10 out of 10. 11 out of 10. Yes.
Peyton Manning was crazy. He ended with 71,000 passing yards, 539 touchdowns. He played in the league for 17 years. He was, oh my God, he was so good. He's one of those quarterbacks where he's a lot like Tom Brady, where like if there's only 2 minutes left in the game and you're down by 3 and Peyton Manning is getting the ball, he's going to go down the field and score. They're either going to tie it up with a field goal or get a touchdown. He was just an electrifying, gunslinging, good quarterback. He was good.
Left his career with a very good note. Super Bowl 50.
Super Bowl 50 win, yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Simply amazing. I mean, 71, almost 72,000 yards career. Insane.
That is not easy to do. That is very hard to do.
Insane.
Yeah. The one thing a lot of people will argue why he's not the GOAT, and why obviously Brady is pretty much the consensus greatest of all time for quarterbacks now, is he didn't have the best playoff success. Is that he was one of those guys that everyone would say, I mean, he did amazing in the regular season. He would have his 5,000 passing yards, his 40 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. But then once it gets to the playoffs, he'd lose in the divisional or the championship. But he quickly rectified that by winning 2 Super Bowls. So one with the Colts and one with the Broncos.
Yes.
On
that note, thank you for watching our picks for 2021's Hall of Fame. Remember to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any content from us.
Yes, hope you guys enjoyed. This was our picks. Comment down below what you think of our picks. Yeah, just let us know. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.